Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Annie, this is Stanley, and we're here to talk about books. So in today's video, we're going to be doing the TBR picks for my reading in July. So I am going on a reading retreat in a few days at the end of June, and I won't be coming back until the 4th of July. So my reading month of July is going to be slightly truncated because I have a completely different TBR list for the reading retreat, and I'm going to do a whole separate video about that. So we're going to be a bit conservative with our picks and see how it goes. But first of all, let's go and make some tea. Okay, tea dice, what do you have for me today? 0 and 3. So vanilla, black and rose. Oh yes, very much in the mood for that today. That is a good combination. Should get me going this morning. Good old past me has already boiled the kettle. Do love a sweet flavoured tea, especially black. So vanilla, black and rose for the win. So now that we've got our tea, always an important accompaniment to reading for me, I'm going to go through a brief book haul. I shouldn't really be obtaining more books because my TBR shelves are bursting at the seams and very, very overfull at the moment. But, you know, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So for the Magical Readathon that I'm taking part in, which is a year-long challenge where you get a prompt every month, one of the recent prompts I had was to read a book with either a dancer protagonist or some kind of dancing important to the plot. And the book that I originally picked did not, in fact, have any dancing involved in it at all. So I went onto a secondhand book site and bought 3 books that I knew had dancing in them, just to cover my bases. And the first one that I picked from that actually worked out and I enjoyed it and it fulfilled the prompt. So I have 2 left over. One of them is The Painted Girls by Cathy Marie Buchanan. And that is 1878 Paris, about 2 sisters who go to work as dancers at the Paris Opera. So I'm looking forward to that. I do like a historical drama. Sounds quite interesting. And the other one is Wildflower Hill by Kimberly Freeman, which is split between the present day and 1929. And it's a family saga about a young woman who has been living her dream as a prima ballerina, but then her career is ruined and she loses everything and she goes to spend time with her, someone in her life, an older woman whose story from 1929 then gets wrapped up with hers. So that one also sounds good. And then I made what may end up being a terrible, terrible error. And at the local station free book exchange, I picked up a copy of Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. Chonker of all chonkers. Many, many pages in this, but it was free. And, you know, I love the musical, kind of interested in the original story. We'll see whether it comes up. It may never come up. I don't know. I think in the TBR Prompt Jar, there's at least 3 or 4 prompts that could lead directly to this book. So it's a bit of a risk. But I was telling my friend Richard about this whole YouTube project, and he was very interested. And I said that I'd picked up Les Mis, and he was like, "You're never going to read that. Even if it comes up, you're never going to read it." And I was like, "Yeah, I will, because if it comes up, I have to give it a try." And he made an agreement with me that if Les Mis came up from my TBR prompts and I read it, or at least the 50 pages that I say that I have to read before I decide I'm going to DNF a book, that he would read at least the first 50 pages of The Infinite Jest. So I'm actually well, I don't know that I am looking forward to it coming up now, but if it does, it'll be less of a disaster than otherwise. But there you go, Les Mis. And I was also thinking that even though the books are even falling off the shelves when I open the book flaps, that there wasn't enough excitement in my physical TBR. So I used that as an excuse to go around the charity shops recently and pick up some thrillers. So I have to inject some excitement into my physical TBR. So I picked up Snap by Belinda Bauer, which starts with two children in a car. Their mum has not abandoned them. She said that she's going to go and get help for whatever reason. They're stuck in the car, but then she doesn't come back. So that sounds exciting. I have the Roanoke Girls by Amy Engel, which it does talk about it being very dark in all of the quotes on the cover. But I think it's about a cult, and I'm a bit of a sucker for books about cults. So I thought I'd pick that one up, maybe see how that goes. And then I read recently a Nikki French book, which I quite enjoyed. So when I saw Blue Monday by Nikki French on the shelf, I thought I enjoyed the last one of Nikki French's that I read, and so give that a go. And then Susan Lewis was a recent find of mine. It surprised me with how much I enjoyed the book of hers that I read. And this one sounds really good. It's called I Know It's You, and it's about a publisher who receives the first chapter of a manuscript and thinks as the chapters keep arriving one by one that they're actually about her past, and she's not sure how anybody would know what went on in her past. So I'm quite looking forward to that one. So there you go. That's my book haul selection. Not quite sure how I'm going to fit them on the shelves, but we'll be taking a few off in a minute when we do the prompts. And speaking of which, let's go to the book flaps. So here we are at the book flaps. Stanley's got the robot TBR jar ready. So we're going to see what we're going to pick for July. So I've put some of the book haul books back on the shelves, but I've kept the thrillers out because I'm obviously not going to rig the prompts, because where would be the fun in that? But I do want to see if I can get a couple of these on the TBR, because I'm quite keen to get some pace, some excitement, some thriller vibes into my reading. I was going to say I'd quite like some sci-fi and fantasy, because I haven't had much of that in my physical TBR for a bit, but I'm going to be doing all fantasy and sci-fi for the double reading retreat that I'm going on soon. I'm so excited about that. It's going to be amazing. So I might actually be a bit sick of sci-fi and fantasy by the time I come back and start my July reading. So let's get into it. Oh, first of all, we should double check what the magical readathon prompt is for the month of July. Laptop's over there. So talk amongst yourselves for a minute. So I was on 6D, which was Sketching the Sundancer, and that was a book with a fantasy creature in it, which I did in June. So I only have one choice to go from 6D to 7D, which is write notes. Writing notes. You travel on, writing down the stories of people you meet, places you see, creatures that approach you, sprites and spirits that show themselves to you. There is such a beautifully hidden world out here, in the deserts rarely disturbed. It's transformative. Read one of your 5-star prediction books, write a review of your experience, and share it online or with a friend. Okay, 5-star prediction. Don't know if I have very many of those on my physical TBR. Might have to think about that and get back to you. In the meantime, so I am losing 4 days of July for the double reading retreat, because I'm not back until the end of the 4th. So I won't be starting my July reading until the 5th of July. So I'm going to be fairly conservative with my prompts, because, you know, I can always come back and get some more. So let's see what we get. Oh, there's 2 stuck together. Go for the orange one. Hang on to that for me, Stanley. Oh, okay. Buy a book from your wish list. Wasn't expecting that to come out today. Okay, another one I'm going to have to come back to you on because I need to have a look at the wish list and make a decision. That's a green one. Author new to me. Aha, perfect. So I can get one of these on straight away. So Nikki French is not new to me. Amy Engel is. So is Belinda Bauer. Susan Lewis is not new to me. So I have a choice between Snap and the Roanoke Girls. And I'm going to go with the Roanoke Girls because I am intrigued. Definitely intrigued about this one. So that's one. So a couple more. That's another green one. I've got this weird thing about having different colours even though the colours don't mean anything. Blue. There we go. Blue. Oh! I can't believe this happened. Are you going to be able to see that? Longest book on TBR. First opportunity. And it happened. Les Mis. Les Mis is coming straight off the shelves and into the TBR. I was being conservative about my reading for July, and it's happened. And I'm going to have to tell Richard, and that's hilarious. Oh my God, Les Mis. It happened. Wow. Okay. I mean, if I end up having to actually read that and enjoy it and read the whole thing, I'm not going to get through to many other books in this. Oh, wow. Oof. Okay. One more. Want a yellow one. Yellow. There we go. The in the title. Okay. Plenty of options there, but not any of the rest of these thrillers, but oh well, never mind. I got one. The in the title. Let's just see what the first one is on the TBR data. Select the top of the pile. The Empress by Meg Clothier. Now she's an author that I met on Reading Retreat recently. There it is, straight there. And I bought her book while I was there because it sounded good. So, Princess Agnes of France, 13, when she's sent to marry Alexios, heir to Byzantium. Husband is a deluded weakling, trapped in a court simmering with intrigue. Bloody revolution, crusading knights. Okay, finally understands what's truly worth fighting for. Okay, The Empress by Meg Clothier. So, that was a bit of a ride. I can't believe I got Les Mis straight off. Who could have predicted that? Anyway, so that's my TBR pile for July. So I've had a think about the 2 prompts that I got that I didn't make a decision about, and the Magical Readathon 5-star read prompt. I have decided to go with I Know It's You by Susan Lewis. And I know I said I was going to try and crowbar a couple of the thrillers into the prompts. And this is actually a reasonable choice for a 5-star prediction, because the other book of hers that I read this year is probably one of my favourite books of the year so far, and has really stayed with me, and I've thought about it a lot, and I've been looking forward to reading more from her. And since this one is about a publisher and a writer and a mysterious manuscript, that seems pretty much designed to appeal to me because I love stuff about writing and publishing. So I'm going to go with that. And for buying one from my wish list, I've decided to go for an audiobook rather than a physical TBR book because of the Les Mis of it all. I'm trying to keep my pile a bit low just in case I really enjoy it and want to read the whole, 1,400 pages or whatever. So I've gone for an audiobook, and I've got Miss Percy's Travel Guide to Welsh Moors and Feral Dragons, because the first one in the Miss Percy series was a top book from a couple of months ago, and I'm quite keen to move on with the series while I can still remember who the characters are and what's going on with it. So that's that. So subsequent to filming my July TBR video, I have discovered a new reading challenge, which is called HRCYED, which stands for Hardest Reading Challenge You'll Ever Do, and has been created and is run by Q over on QWERTY. And yeah, it starts on the 7th of July, version 2.0, which is apparently harder than the first year, which looked pretty difficult when I looked at it. Yeah, and so because I'm ridiculous and apparently want to make my life as complicated as possible, I'm gonna add it in to what I'm doing, because, you know, why not? I'm not going to go into all of the ins and outs because that would take a very long time, so I will link to the announcement video in the description down below. Go and check it out. But if you are like me and it's possible that you might get sucked into this kind of thing and you really don't need added complication to your reading life, beware. Maybe don't go and watch it. But I can't be held responsible for your actions or my actions, really. Anyway, so I'm going to try and fit every book that I read into one or more of the prompts, but I'm also going to pick a book specifically for HRCYED each month, because I think I need to if I've got any chance of getting anywhere with it. And you can double up books, so one book can be used to fulfill two of the prompts. So I have created a new little jar of prompts to pick two HRCYED prompts each month and try and combine them with one book. So I am going to go and do that now. So Stanley is here with the book flaps and the spreadsheet of HRCYED prompts that I have attempted to fill in a little bit, and also my new little jar. I discovered that I had a little container that's actually a book, which is very cute and very appropriate. So that's what I'm going to use for this. Oh, should have seen that coming. So there we have the prompts. It says, collect moments, not things. And these are all books, which I think are definitely extended moments. So I'm going to have a little bit of a rummage and see what we get. What does it say? It says adaptations. Probably can't read that, never mind. So adaptations, interesting. Combined with cover rainbow. That's helpful because that's quite an easy one. So I have to pick a book which has an adaptation and either read the book or watch or read the adaptation. And I know I have one specific one on the shelf which fits that prompt, and that is Tipping the Velvet by Sarah Waters, because I've seen the TV show, but I have never read the book. So I'm going to read Tipping the Velvet. And brown has actually been removed from the cover rainbow this year for HRCYED, so I'm going to go with pink. So pink cover and TV show adaptation, Tipping the Velvet, Sarah Waters. Awesome. So there we have it, a relatively conservative pile for reading in July. I guess the progress of that and whether I end up needing to pick some more books will depend on how I get on with good old Les Miserables. So that was my selection, plus the audiobook that I picked from my wish list for that prompt. And we'll have to see how it goes. And you can be sure that I will come back in my next but one video and let you know how I get on. Still can't believe that prompt came out. People are going to think I fixed it, but I honestly didn't, because I don't want that on my TBR, Les Mis. I mean, no, who would do that to themselves? But anyway, we are where we are. Bye for now.